Vic Carucci and Jay Skursky here at Bills training camp, day number 5 in the books at St. John Fisher College. Let's start with Marcel Darius. Met with the media for the first time since camp opened. He missed a couple of days of practice with a tweaked hamstring. Interesting that one of the things he pointed out was didn't think he was properly hydrating himself, drinking enough water, that might have been a cause of his issues, but overall sounded pretty positive, and I thought coming back today from missing a couple of days looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought, he's got right back in with the starters. It didn't appear that he took too many reps off at all. Sean McDermott said that they would be smart about how many he took, but he looked to be back to a pretty full workload. And, let's face it, Vic, obviously Marcel Darius is maybe the key to this defense this season. I mean, the highest paid player on the team has to produce at a level that matches up with his salary, and it didn't come close last year. Marcel Darius knows it. Everybody watching this video knows it. He's got to get on the field. He's got to produce. He's got to get past hamstring injuries. He's got to get past, obviously, suspension issues. Nothing that he says today is going to really, I think, change many minds. Nothing he says throughout the rest of the training camp, the preseason, is going to change minds. The only thing that's going to convince people is to see it on the field week 1. He's in a better defense for him in a 4-3. He's in a better defense for really all the guys around him. That defensive line, they should be able to, on paper, affect games, and that's what the Bills need Marcel Darius to do. He has to be a Pro Bowl player, and we'll see if he can get there. I think the spring was good for him. He's in shape. If this thing is as minor as it seems like it is, it's just a little very temporary setback, and he needs to, again, build up to week 1, and that's when he can really start proving himself. And
to his credit, because he was asked a lot of questions about working in this new defense, Sean McDermott's scheme, that it would be more straightforward and perhaps simpler than what he was doing the last couple of years with Rex Ryan. And he did throw in that disclaimer that it's early in camp to really declare that he's found a comfort zone. So I give him some credit for that. Also, an interesting thing he threw out there was how important it is to him that Kyle Williams is back, fellow defensive tackle, how important it is to, I think he means from the standpoint of just having someone he can lean on for professional and personal reasons. Yeah. Called him his work wife, by the way. I'm not sure if Kyle's going to be all that happy about that. Speaking of the defense, battle at inside linebacker between Preston Brown and Reggie Ragland for that middle linebacker spot. It seems so far, though, that no one has really pulled ahead in that.
Yeah, well, I guess the surprising thing, I think, for a lot of people is that Ragland has not really made much of a push for that job. I mean, he has been exclusively with the second team, exclusively at middle linebacker. We thought, number one, that he might mix in with the starters at middle linebacker. That has not happened. It's been Preston Brown all the way. And then if that didn't happen, number 2, that they might experiment with one of those guys at a different position, at one of the outside linebacker positions. We haven't seen that at all either. It's been Reggie Ragland exclusively with the second team. We talked to Sean McDermott about it. He said, you need to keep in mind that this guy is coming back from a major injury. He missed most of the spring. So it's possible that they're just slowly ramping him up, but
that's what I'm thinking. That maybe they're taking their time with it, but it doesn't sound like Reggie's out of the running for it.
No, but it also, I think the longer that it goes before he gets mixed in, the more an opportunity it is for Preston Brown to just say, hey, don't make a change here. So I think Ragland, the clock is ticking on him, in my mind, for him to, if he wants to seriously challenge for that starter's position, he's got to start taking some starters reps.
Yeah, that would indicate that there's more of a presence for him. It does seem to be a case of easing him back more. It is a serious injury. He may, in fact, is he coming back too soon? Who knows? That could be the other part of it, but this is competitive and a competitive situation. Another interesting thing with him is weight, keeping it under control, because they've set a 255-pound limit that anything over that, he's fined $600 per pound. Backup running backs also getting a chance to flourish today because LaShawn McCoy was out with what Sean McDermott said was a bug that he developed overnight, was going to monitor that, so not entirely sure when he comes back into it. Didn't sound too major. But in the meantime, you're getting Jonathan Williams, you're getting Mike Tolbert, you're getting some of the other players with opportunity to show what they can do.
Yeah, we talked a lot about, sort of the backup running back situation throughout the spring and leading into camp and how it might shake out. And to me, it's almost sort of cut and dry. I mean, it's been Jonathan Williams really exclusively with the second team. You're seeing Mike Tolbert get sprinkled in with the starters, and I expect that sort of thing to continue, where he sort of plays a specialized role. You're not going to ask him to carry the ball 20 times a game, but on third downs, you might have him come in to be a blocker, short yardage, 3rd and 1, goal line. I think that's where you're going to see Tolbert used. I think the running back depth chart has really sorted itself out here pretty easily. I mean, you've got McCoy, Williams, Tolbert, DeMarco at fullback. The only question then becomes, do they keep a 5th? Maybe there's a competition there among those lower slotted guys on the roster, Jordan Johnson, the UB kid being one of them. But I think your top 4 are pretty much set in stone, and then it's, do they keep 4 or maybe 5?
We will see, and you will have a chance to read much more of what we produce from camp and this video and everything else. So for Jay Skursky, I'm Vic Carucci, and also for Jim McCoy, urging you to check back for much more on BuffaloNews.com.